Now today, let's dive into looking at some of the most popular types of topwater lures from a fish eye's perspective. To see with our own eyes and hear with our own ears, what fish see and hear from our topwater lures in the kingdom of water.
Oh my gosh!
Who does not like an explosive topwater strike? That adrenaline rush is able to send any fisherman over cloud nine. Now you may also notice sometimes the topwater bites are not explosive, but rather just a slurp, and many times they came in hot and only to miss the lure. Welcome back. Now it is this time of year when the topwater bites are really peaking right now. Now how fish hit the topwater lure is highly dependent on the conditions as well as the lure itself. The type, profile, action, noise all play a huge role in determining whether you are getting hit, getting explosive hit, or getting teased. When we throw topwater lures, the only thing we fishermen see are our lures making some surface action, left behind some trail or wake or bubble. That's about it. Now these actions we see above water, honestly, mean very little when it comes to informing us, because it is not what fish see from underwater and not what fish hear underwater. To me, the best way to view topwater lures is from underwater. Now, I did not include hollow body frogs and topwater sulfur plastic because their variety warrant a separate video. For each category, I will show two popular brands of topwater lures. Then at the end of each category, there will be a brief list summarizing all the popular brands for your convenience. The action, speed, surface disturbance, bubble trail, pausing posture, and noise of the topwater lures were fascinating to see. Without further ado, let's get into it.
A popper has two different types, chugger and spitter. For some, these are completely different types of topwater lures. The popper shown here is the Lucky Craft G-Splash. It has a cupped front and does a little spitting when jerked. From underwater, we can see upon jerking the bait, G-Splash will actually dig a little bit subsurface, then come up, and the water droplets is spit out, finally hit water surface when it pauses. When paused, this popper floats almost horizontally. The Megabuzz Pop Max is a relatively larger profile popper for freshwater. It features a unique head cup design which allows it to create a lot of commotion and bubble trails. When jerked hard, it incorporates a lot of rolling action as well as surface disturbance, turning into an almost walking action. It also features a different plop sound than the G-Splash when jerked in short motion. Now, overall, the hard but short jerk enables the popper to create a lot of noise, commotion, while maintaining a relatively low speed for presentation. Reputable poppers are listed here. When talking about Spook, we have to start from the head-on Zara Spook. The entire category is named after the Zara Spook. The trademark presentation of the Spook is the zigzag walked dog. From underwater, you can see this presentation creates quite some commotion and disturbance, and the Spook goes big angles at each of the zigzag motion. Also, the Spook is quite noisy. You can change the cadence of the side-to-side action, doing a slower walk that changes the length of each stroke, leaving a different disturbance or trail as well as different sound. When paused, the Zara Spook is almost horizontal. The Spook you are seeing now is the Lucky Craft Sammy. We can hear the loud noise created by the beads inside its body, but if you look at the water surface, it actually barely breaks the surface. It is a somewhat more subtle presentation compared to the Zara Spook, which I think mimics a fleeing shad really well. When paused, the Sammy will sit head up and tail down, which is completely different from the Zara Spook. Here are some of the other fish catching machine Spook choices. Now what's your favorite? Leave me a comment. Next, let's talk about pencil popper. Now, it has become my personal favorite among all topwater baits in recent years. The one you are seeing now is the evergreen shower blows, one of the best in class, if not the best. It creates a lot of surface disturbance and sends out a ton of commotion underwater thanks to its wide side-to-side action coupled with the cupped front face design. The sound of shower blows is extremely loud. Underwater, the speed of sound is about 0.9 of a mile per second or 1.5 kilometers per second, which is about 5 times faster than its air speed. This is one of the reasons those noisy topwater lures, such as shower blow, has such a great fish calling capability. When presented slowly, the shower blow gave an almost 180 side-to-side action. When paused, it sits nose up. These sudden and erratic change is what really shines in triggering reaction strike. The bait on the screen now is the gunfish made by Lucky Craft. Unlike the shower blow, it is less aggressive pencil popper, coming in a slightly different profile, much tamed action with less disturbance commotion on the water surface, and much quieter as well. It also sits nose up when paused. Here are some other popular brands for pencil poppers. Next, let's talk about the prop bait. For this category, we first have the whopper plopper. It was a red-hot topwater lure a couple years ago when every elite pro was throwing it in summer and fall events. From underwater, you can definitely tell it has a very unique action. It doesn't take a lot of speed to kickstart the prop, and because of the material and the size of the prop, it creates a unique, subtle plop-plop sound, and overall, it does not really break the water surface too much, not as vigorously like some of the other topwaters. When paused, it sits nose up in the water. The other type of a prop bait is a double prop, or called a cigar baits by some. The profile resembles a cigar closely and features two small flashy metal props on both ends. These are floating hard baits, not to be mistaken for the spy baits. The Lucky Craft splash tail is shown here. The props create a prominent bubble trail while still keeping the profile on the subtle side. You can also reel it in just like the whopper plopper. The killer trait of the double prop, in my opinion, comes when they are paused in the water. The bait sits horizontal, and the little props will continue to spin a little bit, sending out a flash, or will reflect light while the bait is sitting on the surface, rocking with the chop. These subtle movements are like killer actions which will drive the fish going nuts. Here is a list of prop baits from other brands. The crawlers are represented by the infamous jitterbug seen on screen. This category of topwater has been catching fish since as early as 1938. Their flamboyant action typically is accompanied by super annoying loud noise, all thanks to certain type of wing-like design. They also create a lot of bubble trails. Their profile is usually shorter but bulkier, quite different from the topwater lures we've covered so far. Overall, they mimic frogs, insects such as cicada or dragonfly, or even small birds floating on the water. But in general, I believe their intense commotion are mainly triggering the reaction strikes. One thing we need to keep in mind is the speed for presentation. Some baits work better at higher speed, but will lose action at slower speed. Some better at slow speed, but will completely lose balance and turn over at high speed, such as the Jaco Pompadour you see now. Here's a list of crawler baits from other brands. Wake baits work right beneath the surface by creating a wake on the surface, but without breaking the surface, hence the name. There are a million variants of wake baits nowadays, and sometimes it could be really hard to stringently define them from other types of topwater baits, and more often than not, You can find wake baits cross over with other types of topwater lures such as crawler. One of the most common design features a crankbait-like body equipped with a lip, almost perpendicular to the body. This way, the bait could only dive a couple inches and stay there, while wiggle vigorously to create that wake from subsurface. Many companies add other parts like propellers and shifting balances to incorporate even more attractions. Like the one you see now, the Depth's Buzzbait. It is a unique wake bait. There are silent wake bait as well. In recent years, big wake baits also become very popular. Due to the variety of baits, this category can be really fun to fish with. Now here's a list of them. Unlike all the other types of topwaters we've covered so far, Buzzbait is a wild bait equipped with a big turning blade. Its profile is unique among all the topwaters in that you can easily change it by putting on different skirt or soft plastics. The blade is the key of commotion here. Now, different blades design result in different amount of bubbles, noise, and vibrations. My absolute favorite buzzbait is the Cavitron, made by Mega Strike. The blades kick off at a very slow speed. The hook sits low and it casts a country mile, all making it a fish catch machine. Apparently, for buzzbait, you can already pause it for as long as the other types of topwaters, but you can vary the speed or give it a quick pause during retrieve, which will induce that skirt pause. Now, one interesting thing about a buzzbait is a lot of people will wear them down out of a package to induce that squeaky noise for blade turning. And this particular bait on screen also puts out that squeaky noise in the air, but from the recording, we cannot hear it underwater. Now, I truly believe for some buzzbait, once in the water is acting as a lubricant, thus diminishes the squeaky noise. Now, I'll do some more follow-up on this in the future. Here is a list of other buzzbaits, but again, my absolute favorite is the Cavitron.
I hope today's video can really help you to choose that right topwater lure to trigger that explosive bite next time you're on the water. Alright, that's it for today. If you like this type of video, do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Tight lines until next time. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, this is a fat one. Jesus Christ. This is a very, oh my God. Gosh. No, it's not ready yet. Oh my gosh. Gosh. Oh my gosh. 勾的还不错，勾的不错。太凶了。还冲吗？
Yes. Are you ready for the next topwater bite?